Hello and welcome. I'm an AI specializing in hotel operations, and I've seen firsthand what separates the top performers from everyone else. So to all the students of Europe Hotel School joining us, I'm really excited to walk you through a framework that's going to be absolutely crucial for your careers. We're going to talk about how to turn all that great insight into real, measurable impact.
So let's just dive right in with this core idea. This quote, it really hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's one thing to have the data, to have the insights, but it's a whole other ballgame to actually use it to drive your business forward. Without a clear plan for execution, even the most brilliant ideas they just sit there.
And that leads us to a problem that's so common in our industry, we actually have a name for it, the insight-action gap. Think of it like a huge chasm between knowing what you should do and actually doing it. And that gap, that's where opportunity, revenue, and your competitive edge just fall right through.
I bet some of these scenarios sound pretty familiar, right? Your data shows a huge spike in leisure travelers, but you're not offering any new packages for them. You know a massive tech conference is coming and your competitors are all booked solid, but your sales team is still chasing the same old leads from last year. Guests keep asking for healthier food, but the menu never changes. Every single one of these is a huge missed opportunity, a perfect example of that gap between knowing and doing.
Okay, so that's the problem. It brings us to the big question, the million-dollar question really. How do we build a solid, reliable bridge to get from one side, valuable insight, to the other side, profitable action? How do we make sure our knowledge doesn't just die in a PowerPoint slide, but actually shapes our success? Well, the answer is all about having a disciplined approach. We need a blueprint. And in our world, that blueprint is called sales planning. But don't think of it as just some boring document. Think of it as the detailed engineering plan for that strategic bridge we absolutely have to build.
And here's the bottom line. Sales planning is the mechanism that actually makes this transformation happen. It is the bridge. It's how you connect the world of data and insight with the real world of operations and results. It's the point where strategy stops being just a conversation and starts becoming an action plan.
So, we have our blueprint. Now what? Well, it's time to build the foundation. You know, every strong bridge needs solid pillars to hold it up. And for our strategic bridge, these pillars are the core pieces of the plan itself.
And this whole foundation really rests on 3 steps you just can't skip. First, you have to prioritize your opportunities. Second, you've got to define specific, actionable targets. And third, you need to allocate the right resources to make it all happen. If you miss any one of these pillars, the whole plan is going to be shaky at best.
Let's talk about prioritization for a second. Look, market insights can throw dozens of possibilities at you, but you can't chase every shiny object. This step is all about focus. It's about making a smart, strategic choice, like going after that high-margin corporate conference instead of the low-margin tour group. It's about making sure your effort is going where it'll generate the absolute highest return.
Next up is targeting. You see a big trend like the rise of leisure travel. That's great, but you can't really sell to a trend. Targeting is how you turn that big general insight into a specific guest profile with real needs. That gives your sales team something tangible, a tailored package they can go out and directly sell to a real person.
And that brings us to our third pillar, resource allocation. And listen, this is where the rubber really meets the road. A strategy without resources, it's just a wish. This step is about making sure that your most valuable assets, your people's time, your marketing dollars, your staff, are all aimed squarely at your top priorities. But of course, a bridge doesn't just build itself. A great blueprint is totally useless without a skilled and motivated crew to actually bring it to life. And that's where your team and how you empower them becomes absolutely critical.
This is where clear communication is everything. And I'm not just talking about telling people what to do. It's about explaining the why behind it all. When every single person, from the front desk agent to the marketing manager, understands the big picture and what you're trying to achieve, you create this incredible alignment. You get a shared sense of purpose that just pulls the entire team forward together.
And that's the real magic of it. A clear, well-communicated plan is incredibly empowering for your team. It takes away all the guesswork and gives them the confidence to take initiative, to be proactive, because they know exactly how what they're doing every day contributes to the hotel's big picture success. Okay, so you've built your bridge. Great job. But you can't just walk away, right? The hospitality market is always changing, always moving. To stay strong, our strategic bridge needs constant maintenance, regular inspections, and reinforcement to handle whatever the market throws at it.
And this is where measurement becomes your best friend. You need clear metrics. For instance, tracking your RevPAR against your own target and, just as importantly, against your competitors. This shows you in black and white if your strategy is actually working. It's how you turn those abstract goals into results you can actually see and measure.
Part of that maintenance also means gathering intel from every possible angle. Yeah, the performance data is crucial, but so is the feedback from your frontline staff, the people who talk to guests all day, every day. You combine that with guest surveys and market analysis, and suddenly you have this amazing 360-degree view that keeps your plan grounded in reality.
And please remember, this isn't a one-and-done deal. It has to be a continuous cycle, a rhythm you get into. You're looking at data every month. You're holding deep dive strategic reviews every quarter, and you're totally reassessing the whole plan every year. This rhythm is what keeps your strategy sharp and responsive.
And here's the key thing I really want you to take away from this section. True strength isn't about having a rigid plan that never changes. No way. It comes from having a solid framework that also gives you the flexibility to be agile. It's that willingness to adapt based on new data that really separates the winners from the hotels that get left behind.
So, to wrap it all up, what we've really been talking about is the incredible power of disciplined sales planning. It's the essential engine that takes all that abstract data and information and turns it into clear direction for your team, goals you can actually measure, and a coordinated effort across your entire hotel.
So as you move forward into your careers, always remember this. The data you see is telling you a story. It's a story full of clues about opportunities just waiting for you to grab them. So the real question is, what action are you going to write for the next chapter?